I'm Marion Piper and this is my studio in High Wycombe. My process begins with the preparation of the surfaces, building up the layers to create the kind of absorbency that I require. I'm not looking for the paint to sit on the surface, I'm looking for it to activate the surface and meld with it and become part of the surface itself. Every work has a grid drawn on it, and this is a division of the size that I'm using. I use a soft pencil to create a line which trembles slightly, because this is not a structure. For me, it's more like a climbing frame or a stage, something that I can move across. I don't differentiate between drawing and painting. The two happen together across canvas and paper. And as I work with geometric moves, diagonals, curves, I then begin to see a pattern emerging, and I follow that pattern and the work continues. I'm interested in slight shifts in tone and connection. Sometimes when I'm drawing the grids, I'm transported to a particular street in a distant city and remember the sound of echoing voices or the temperature and air pressure. I like the moment between things, the sound of a fountain, the bitterness of coffee, reading a book and then looking up at the sky. These geometric movements that I draw often operate a bit like stepping stones between my collected references. The work on Drift began last spring when I was trying to resolve some questions I had between two series of work. One of these was Reader, a series of 100 drawings I made to celebrate the centenary of the Bauhaus. I'd been looking at Edward Manet and Günter Stolzer, one of the artists there, and was concentrating on the forms and the colours, particularly Manet colours of deep blacks with colourful pastel shades. From the colour work in Reader, I decided to limit the palette for the Drift series, and I was thinking more about colour as being a texture rather than a painterly document. I think my work relates a lot to books, the idea of books, to chapters and titles and pages, and I particularly like grand narratives, the work of Zola or Dickens, the Bible, compendiums and collections of essays, the grouping together of ideas, and that's how my work comes together, many different layers of history that sort of speak into the present. I find that all our stories overlap and intertwine, and whether artist, viewer or collector, we can recognise these patterns and rhythms, whether from our past and possibly even our future.